I'm Holly from rockingthecloth.com, and today I was just going to show you how I prep a wool cover for my newborn that should be here in a few months. So I got a Dasana newborn size wool cover. I also have one of these in a toddler size, and I'm kind of late to the wool train, but I really love wool now. I only got one for the newborn days because I never know how long, they're really going to fit. But wool is great because it's really soft, it's really breathable. You can use your wool cover quite a bit before you need to wash it because it's naturally antibacterial, and it just really allows the skin to breathe. I mean, there's a lot of great perks with this. Wool also can absorb some extra moisture that would maybe in a normal cover end up leaking. Wool can kind of absorb that, so that's one reason why a lot of people love wool and use them at nighttime especially. So anyway, when you have a brand new wool cover, it's not yet felted, and what that means is if you take a look at any sort of wool item, a brand new one, you're going to see how you have all the loose knit holes there. But as it felts over time, those holes compact and go a lot tighter together, and that's a normal thing, and that is a good thing because once it's felted, it's even more waterproof at that point. There's less chances of leaks. So it will felt on its own over time. Just being wet and the use of it will felt it, but you can hand felt too to get it kind of a head start. So, and with a newborn cover, with my toddler one, I didn't do that because he moves around a lot. So I was just like, he's going to felt it on his own. We'll just do that. Newborns don't move a whole lot, so I am going to pre-felt this one. So I'm going to kind of show you what I'm going to do for that. So I'm going to fill my sink, maybe a third of the way or so with some tepid water. Not hot, but it doesn't have to be cold either. Okay, now I'm going to add about a teaspoon of my wool soap. I use this one. Just about a teaspoon or so. It says teaspoon per gallon. So maybe 2 teaspoons for what well, no, I might only have about a gallon in there. Okay, then I'll kind of swish it around. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'll kind of soak my cover. And using my hands in the wet zone. You don't need to do this for the whole diaper because you want the legs to remain stretchy. You want the waist to remain stretchy. You really just want to focus on hand felting the wet zone where you really want to make sure that the moisture doesn't leak through. So I'm just gonna, using the nice warm soapy water, just gonna rub it with my hands. And one thing to notice, I mean, when you're using a good quality wool, when you get it wet at first, you might notice kind of an animal smell, and that's perfectly normal. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your wool. I can smell it right now because this is the first time I'm washing this or anything. Okay, that's looking good. And I'm not going to sit here and do this forever. I'm just focusing on the main wet zone areas. And then I'll just probably let it do its own thing over time to get even better. That's really all there is to it for preparing a new wool cover. Like I said, you don't even have to do this. You could just start using it right away, and over time it will get even more waterproof as it felts on its own. But if you are dealing with a non-mobile baby, then you might consider wanting to jumpstart it. Though the wetness on its own will do it too, but of course movement from kids always helps speed things along. Okay, so you can kind of see how now in this zone, hopefully you can see on the camera, you can kind of see the differences here by the leg. You still see the bigger holes, and they're definitely a little bit smaller where I've been rubbing. So that's kind of the goal. Okay, so I hope you found this helpful. Now with wool, you want to let it air dry. I've squeezed it out a little bit, but one thing with wool too is you don't want to wring it out because that will stretch it out and everything. Another thing you can do is you can fold it and press. Okay, although I squeezed out enough from there, so there's not much coming out anymore. And then you can lay flat to dry just to also preserve the size and not letting it get all stretched out and all this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hang this up, but again, I hope you found this helpful, and go ahead and check out the link in the comments for more information about this. Thanks, have a great day.